Hi, folks. I tried to upload Rejection Part 2, and it just went, don't you hate when it just gets 95% or 99% uploaded, and then it'll freeze? So I'm waiting for that to upload. Anyhow, this is Rejection Part 3. What rejection is, how it feels, how rejection feels, and how to deal with rejection. Not everyone has been rejected, so how rejection feels. Rejection feels, I have been rejected. I was in love when I was young, and when I was older, and when I was very, very young. And I was suddenly dumped by somebody who claimed to have been in love and wanted to spend the rest of their life or a long time with me. And then suddenly they drop you. And what's worse is if you find out they dropped you because they met another woman. Or if you're a gay man, they met another man. Or, anyhow. So what rejection is? Rejection is when you still want that person, when you're still in love with that person, or you still like them or care about them or her, and they don't want to be with you. They don't want to have nothing to do with you. I mean, I'm talking more about the total rejection. They don't even want to be your friend. They just want nothing to do with you, and for no apparent reason. I mean, like the last time you saw each other, you're laughing, they're telling you they love you, they're telling you they want to be with you forever, they're apologizing for screwing up. I mean, or you're just having a really great time, and then all of a sudden, they tell you they don't want to be with you anymore. Sometimes they tell you the truth that they met another woman, and sometimes they don't tell you, and you find out. I mean, and most of the time for me, it was usually if I was replaced by another woman. And it wasn't because the woman was more attractive, because sometimes the woman was, not in my opinion, but from what I heard through the grapevine, that the woman may not have been, she might have been extremely homely or just, and then you really got to wonder, well, when you're rejected, it blows your mind. It's not that you have an ego so big that you never could think that you're going to be rejected, but the person, in my situation, the person lied. What rejection feels like, what I picture when I picture rejection by somebody I'm in love with is a huge butcher knife that went through my heart suddenly. That's what it feels like. To me, it felt worse than a loved one dying. When you're really madly in love, it is even worse than losing a loved one to death. You feel like you're dead. That's why it's important to not only have that person. It's really important to keep your friendships alive, even during a marriage and during a relationship. And if the person tries to isolate you and keep you from your friends, that's control, that's abuse. And that has to stop. You need to keep your good friends always. You need to keep your friends, and if you've lost all your friends, you need to reconcile with your true friends, tell them you're sorry, reconcile with them, or try to make friends. You need a support group. So what rejection is and how to deal with it. Or what rejection is, how it feels. So I told you, it's a horrible feeling. You feel abandoned. You feel very depressed. You go through sometimes you can cry. And don't be surprised if you're sitting in your car or you're at home or you're in a movie, you're in your car, and all of a sudden your favorite song with that person, your song, comes on, the song that was you and that person's song. Even now, many, many years later, like the other day, I heard a Whitney Houston song. And she says, and I'll always love you, and I'll always love you. Well, that was me and one of my ex's songs. That movie came on TV, and as soon as I saw it, those painful feelings came back. It was part good feelings and part bitter, sweet feelings. There's a song called by Chicago, If You Leave Me Now. It's called If You Leave Me Now by Chicago. When I was very young, I was in love with a young man named Carlos. And he was wonderful. In that relationship, I ended that relationship. And I still cherish the good memories of Carlos. And I thank him for those beautiful memories that I shall cherish for the rest of my life. And I really hope that whoever he's with, which I'm just guessing he's probably happily married and probably has 2 to 4 or 6 kids. He was a very romantic and lovable, so I would imagine he probably has a big family, and I hope that your wife treats you well wherever you're at. I have good feelings, good memories on him. And I cherish that. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about where I personally was dumped. So it feels like a butcher knife going through your heart. That's how rejection feels. But you're going to survive. I'm going to give you some ideas. I can't promise, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to promise you this. You are going to survive. And you're going to be okay. You're going to look back on it, you don't know what the future holds. But remember, when one door closes, God will open another door. When one door closes, I have heard God will open up another door. But it has to be in His timing. It has to be when He knows it's the right timing. And with the right person. Okay? So you don't want to rebound. You do not want to rebound and get with somebody just to try to get over the other person. That's a rebound. I think you need time to get over that person. Do not rebound quickly into another relationship. I think it's okay to date. I think it's great to date, but to fall deeply in love with somebody else, I think that's a rebound, to try to get in a real deep relationship with somebody else real quick. I think it's okay to date several different people, and I don't mean be promiscuous. I mean, go to a restaurant, go out with your friends to a restaurant, go to a movie. If you're a woman or, you like shopping, go with one friend or several friends shopping. Go to the mall or go out and have some pie and ice cream like I do once in a while with a really good friend. Or see a good movie. Okay, this is part 2. I'm not going to just leave you at that. You need to know how to deal with rejection. That's important. That's the future. I want you to watch that. That's coming up in the next video. This is part 3. I'm going to try to upload 2. So this is Fran. Please hit the little red and white subscribe button. Leave a comment. I will try to comment back, but I'm not going to promise. I'll try to comment on as many as I can. Thank you. Now, this is part 3. Watch part 4, folks. And I'm going to help you to deal with it. I'm going to tell you how I did. Stay tuned for part 4. It will be uploaded quickly today, within minutes.